man. So this year, 2016 for me is really still just been about gaining visibility, introducing my music and myself to people, really just across the country and by God's grace, even different parts of the world. And so just grinding, making good music. You know, indie life it's not glamorous, it's hard work, but I've been enjoying just how people have been responding to the music God's given me to offer. So yeah.
Now, we were looking at your little like press release you sent us at one point, and like that said all the things you have done.
Yeah.
And Stephen was like, "This looks like she's an industry plant," as in you're secretly signed, but you have all of these gigs. So like, how did you come about all this stuff? Well, first question: are you an industry plant? And if not,
no.
Why does it look like you are?
Man, Jesus, bro. That's my only answer, man. Shout out to Linda Evans. That's my manager, and she and I just at the beginning of this year, and every time we meet, we just pray and say, God, we're gonna grind, we're gonna work our butts off. Whatever doors you open, we're gonna sprint through them. You know what I mean? And so she works extremely hard. And is a huge blessing, man. She believes in the vision that God has given me, and she believes in me, and we both have an extremely we work really hard. We have that work ethic, a strong work ethic, and that's the only thing I can say, man. It's just God's grace. You know, He's just been blessing, giving us fruit for our labor, and it's been really cool just to see Him meet us. I was telling you off camera, man. I stepped out on faith and kind of went part-time and just like, God, I got bills, but I got to trust you. And He's just met us, just been faithful and graceful to meet us and open doors, bro. So that's the only answer I can give you, man. I'm definitely not a plant. Shout out to anybody that wants to make me one.
So what were you doing part-time, and what did you have to weigh, or what were you doing full-time, and what did you have to weigh to make that transition? Yeah,
so I work for a small company out in the Dallas area that deals in logistics and materials management, kind of more a corporate type gig, spreadsheets and that whole deal. But so for me, it really was just honestly getting down to the financials of it. What can I afford to do? Where can I cut back and just trust that the Lord would bring in revenue with music and merch sales and all of those things to kind of balance it out. That's kind of really where it landed for me. And then just taking that faith step,
Any biggest lessons you've learned as an indie artist along the way of this grind?
Honestly, no. There are all kind of things that I already knew. It was just experiencing them at a different level. I can say the one thing that I have learned is how to trust God in different ways. My faith has been stretched, and me and God have had a lot of arguments, all of which He won. You know what I'm saying? But just that fear of the unknown, you know what I'm saying? And learning and choosing to trust Him and resolve that if I fall on my butt and, crash and burn, just get up and try again, you know what I mean? But He hasn't let me do that. So, yeah, I'm thankful for that, man. I'm just running hard, bro. See what He's gonna do.
So, who is LaToria as an artist?
Yeah.
What is your brand? Is there a singular maybe focus that you kind of try to, or mission that you kind of try to strive for, communicate as an artist? Sure.
Yeah, so I would say, as an artist, man, my heart and desire is just to join the ranks of women that are already out there being role models and representation, of women of faith. And so for me, that kind of lands on the hip hop soul kind of side. I got a little bit of in me. So I'm gonna turn up every once in a while, but primarily it's just connecting and giving women a voice within hip hop culture, Christian and otherwise. You know what I mean? Making music that people can live life to.
So how did you develop that burden?
Man, I've been a hip hop head my whole life. I grew up, elementary age watching MC Lyte and the Brat and Queen Latifah and Missy Elliott, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of identifying with that even at an early age. And fast forward a few years, I initially thought I was going to be pursuing basketball. I was extremely successful in high school, and the Lord was like, nah. So he used music to kind of pull me back into a relationship with him. And I've just kind of been off and going since that time, and started doing open mics and stuff back in like '06, and just seeing how people were responding. And it's just been a faith walk ever since, and growing in my craft as I see that this is something that in this season he's called me to do. So I'm gonna kill it, man. I'm gonna do my best and see what it'll do. I'm kind of leaving it open instead of trying to box. I want my career to look like this, I want my life to look like that. I've learned to just trust him and walk. You have goals and you have plans and you are professional, but at the end of the day, he's the one that kind of runs it all. So for me, it's just impacting people as I can go.
That's dope. Appreciate you sharing. Any upcoming music you can talk about?
Yeah, I got some stuff in the works, man. We out here in Flavor Fest. I'm gonna give everyone a little bit of a sample of a new joint we got coming out called Pushing Light. So that's the next single that's gonna be releasing for me. Probably drop the top of 2017 though.